English fairy tale Beauty and the Beast.
Once there lived a merchant with 3 daughters. The 2 elder daughters were selfish and wicked. The youngest one was so sweet that he named her Beauty. Once the merchant had to go away for work.
"What gifts do you want?"
He asked. The eldest demanded a pearl necklace. The second wanted diamonds. Beauty asked for a red rose. While returning, the merchant had gifts for his 2 elder daughters, but he couldn't find the perfect rose for Beauty. Suddenly, he stumbled upon an enchanting castle and went inside. There was no one in the castle. Strangely, a royal feast was laid out at the dining table. He was very hungry, so he ate the food. He went upstairs and went to bed. Next morning, the merchant saw some beautiful red roses in the garden of the castle.
"Wow! I must take one of these roses for Beauty,"
he said. A scary beast appeared and demanded to know why he was stealing his rose. The merchant replied that it was for his daughter, Beauty.
"Then you must send Beauty to live with me,"
the beast replied. On reaching home, the merchant's voice trembled as he told Beauty everything. "I must go, Father," Beauty said. Bravely, Beauty went to the castle. The beast always treated her with kindness and respect. Soon, she became fond of him. After some days, Beauty started missing her father badly. Beast let her go home. Beauty promised to return soon. Her father was delighted to see her. Her sisters claimed to be happy, but they were furious to see her return. Beauty loved her family's company. One night, she dreamed of the beast lying on the floor in poor health. She went to the castle immediately. She found the beast in the exact same condition.
"Why didn't you come back soon?"
gasped the beast. She sobbed. He asked her to marry him. She agreed immediately. Instantly, the beast turned into a handsome prince.
"Oh, Beauty, thank you. A wicked magician turned me into a beast. The spell would only end if a beautiful girl were to promise to marry me,"
he said. Soon they were married. The merchant was very happy with the marriage. They lived happily ever after.
Rapunzel.
Once upon a time, a young couple lived near an enchanted garden. But no one ever set foot in the garden because it was owned by a witch. One day, the wife, who was expecting a baby, began to crave spring leaves from the witch's garden. Her husband bravely picked leaves of a plant named Rapunzel. The witch caught him. The husband said,
It's for my pregnant wife."
In return, the witch demanded to take the child. The couple was soon blessed with a little girl. The witch arrived at their door and took the baby away. She decided to name her Rapunzel. Years passed, and Rapunzel turned 13. The witch locked her in a tower with no door. The witch would climb the tower using Rapunzel's long hair. One day, a prince saw Rapunzel sitting at the window. He was instantly enchanted by her. Rapunzel let down her hair, and the prince climbed up. "You must go before the witch finds you," said Rapunzel. The prince promised to help her escape with a rope ladder. When the witch returned, she sensed that a man had been there. In anger, she chopped off Rapunzel's long golden hair and locked her in a cupboard. The prince arrived again and climbed up. But the witch was holding the long hair. She tried to push him away. The prince managed to dodge the witch. She lost her balance and fell on the ground with a thud. The prince found Rapunzel in the cupboard. They climbed down the rope ladder and fled. Soon, they got married and lived happily ever after.
King Midas and a Golden Touch.
Once there lived a kind and wealthy king named Midas. He was so obsessed with wealth that he would dream of it every night. One day, Midas saw an elderly man in the garden. He invited the man to his palace. At the palace, a young man wearing a leafy crown appeared. He was looking for the elderly man. The elderly man said to Midas, "This is Dionysus. He is a god." Dionysus said to Midas, "You've been very kind to my friend. In return, I will grant you a wish." Midas wished, "Everything I touch must turn to gold." "So be it," said Dionysus, snapping his fingers. Instantly, Midas's wooden stick turned into a gold one. Midas touched his palace, and the walls turned to dazzling gold. He felt like the richest man in the world. It was dinner time, and Midas was hungry. But when he touched his food, it turned to gold. "Oh no!" His daughter heard his cries. She ran towards Midas and hugged him. Even she turned into a golden statue. He cried for help from Dionysus. Dionysus appeared. He said, "Bathing in the river will wash away your gift." Midas stepped into the river, and his stick became wooden again. He went back to his palace. Everything was back to normal. Midas was very happy. He promised to never be greedy again.
The Giant Turnip.
Once upon a time, there lived an old man with his wife. The old man planted some turnip seeds. He watered them and cared for them. The seeds grew into plants. There were lots of turnips. The old man took good care of them. Out of all those turnips, there was one huge turnip. He had never seen a giant turnip before. Finally, the turnip stopped growing. The old man decided to pull it out of the ground. He pulled and pulled and pulled, but the giant turnip wouldn't budge. The old man called his wife for help. The wife held the old man, and the old man held the turnip top. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled. They called their son for help. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled, but the giant turnip wouldn't budge. They called their dog for help. Together they pulled and pulled and pulled, but the giant turnip still wouldn't budge. At last, they all called the little mouse for help. He crawled his way under the turnip and started nipping the roots with his teeth. While the little mouse nipped the roots, they kept pulling, and suddenly, pop! Out of the ground came the giant turnip. Everyone was pleased. That evening, they all enjoyed a delicious turnip supper, even the little mouse.